Okay, Pierre, what are we doing? Turning this on. We are going to where did my thing go? It's right here. Put down my drop cloth. Put down my ledger book. Find a page. Grab a pen. See who shows up. Does this not have ink in it? Is that what's wrong with this pen? It's uninked. It's uninked, bothered and bewildered. Am I? Do, 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 do. Seen a lot. Why is this cutting through that paper? Oh, that will squeak. It's kind of like when you put your hand on a wine glass and make the little vibrations. Squeak, squeak, squeak. Funny. Never really been able to control that before. In a pen, it just happens once in a while. Such a fine pen, this Sheaffer military pen. When I use it, I think of someone that snuck behind the German lines and is very carefully documenting the defensive gun emplacements using this very, very fine nib. Just when he's about to finish the drawing, though, the pen makes a little invisible squeak, only audible to the German Shepherd guard dogs, and he is caught because he's wearing a German uniform. He is put up against the wall and shot down without even a trial. Or maybe this person wasn't in the front lines. Maybe he had bow and spurs or something, and he had to stay home and work at the desk. But he still was in the military. He couldn't be active service because of his bow and spurs. You think? What do you think about that? Write your answers below. But sometimes it's fun to see and imagine who owned the pen before I did. And I don't mean who I bought it from at the pen show. I remember that person all too well. I meant the original owner, the one that bought it off the shelf. This is a pen that I bought 2 years ago from a person who's coming by tomorrow to try to have me sell for him more of his pens. And this is a Belmont pen, which was made right here in Massachusetts, I think, sold through the Rexall store. And what's fun about this one is it's a short, fat little pen. So it's a very weird proportion. It's fatter than it should be. It's almost the size of a senior Sheaffer. See, is it? Let's get up my senior Sheaffer. Yes, it's the size of a senior Sheaffer, but it's sort of the length of a junior Sheaffer flat top, or maybe a little tiny bit longer. So it's a strange fat pen. And does this want me to write strange fat things? It doesn't have to be posted, oddly enough. When I don't post it, it's entirely in the wrong spot. But it's sort of because I'm sort of holding the pen sort of in the palm of my hand, like I might be holding a pestle or something. It's sort of an interesting feeling. 99 out of 100 times I will post a pen just out of habit, but every once in a while I'll get a pen that's, when I see how short it is, maybe I don't post it, because it's not something I plan really. It just happens naturally in some way. So I don't quite understand how it works, but it's very curious that it works that way. So thank you, Mighty Mouse, for trying to connect to the channel. This is another pen that's when capped is roughly the same size as that one. It's thinner. This is another one that I do post, though, automatically. Now, why do I do that? Who knows? It's a mystery. It is a mystery. Chad Trent. What a great name. Chad Trent has joined my following me. Maybe Chad Trent is watching me now. Hello, Chad. Let me write your name fancy if I can. Chad Trent. FBI. Brought to you by Procter & Gamble. It sounds, I mean, it does sound like a, Chad Trent does sound like a name of a private eye or a Chad Trent, private eye. Yeah, I generally post so I don't lose the cap either. Keeping the cap. There was, you know, at one point, I don't know if I read it in a book or etiquette book or who knows what it was, but there was a suggestion to pen, maybe it was in a fountain pen instruction guide or something, where if someone wanted to borrow your pen, you uncap it for them. So first of all, so they don't screw when they're supposed to slip or vice versa. And you hand them the uncapped pen and they sign their name, and then they can't steal it or put it in their pocket because it'll get ink all over it. So then they have to sort of give the pen back to you because it's not going to do them any good by itself. So that is one time when I might keep the cap in my little hands. Clark Kent, Chad Trent. Clark Kent, also known as Chad Trent. Few people in Gotham City, is that where Clark Kent was from? No, that was Batman. Where was Superman from? He worked for the Daily Planet. Few people knew that Clark Kent also was a male stripper at the club under the name of Chad Trent. And boy, was he ever a Superman, let me tell you. Maybe I'll get a notification that Chad Trent is no longer subscribing to my channel. I do like the name Chad Trent. I don't mean to be making fun of you. It's really a cool name. Chad Trent. But he might not even be watching, so I shouldn't be. So how many pens do you have, Mighty Mouse? You don't have to count them. A rough estimate is fine. This pen is really, really fine and consequently a little tiny bit too scratchy, but it's something I can live with fine nibbed pens. It's sort of part of the, it's like you can't complain about having a tight shirt collar when you're wearing a starched wingtip collar shirt with your tailcoat. Yeah, he did originally come from some Midwestern Iowa or Idaho or somewhere, but Daily Planet was in DC. Yeah. Hundreds of pens. If there were a pie chart describing vintage versus modern, and I mean vintage as being 1960 or earlier, and modern being 1960 or later, what percentage of your collection would be one or t'other? Mine is almost, 99% old. Paper, paint, plasticine, clay. Wow. Full of stuff. Look, my hands were so clean a few minutes ago, and now they're filthy again. Huh. Okay, cool. And what do you do with your pens mostly? Do you write or calligraphy or draw or journal? Is there I guess you must draw because you seem to be an artist. Draw, cool. Do you post your drawings anywhere? I might even follow you on Instagram and things, and I just can't remember because of all of the name changes that people have. Where can I see your drawings? I guess is if you want to tell me. We don't require anyone to say anything in this little room, this little party. Oh, cool. The Jumpstart drawings. I have really, really fun with what I call challenge drawings. And it was something I learned how to do in second grade when our teacher gave us a piece of paper that has a scribble on it, triangle and a line and a dot and another line. And, everyone had a different squiggle and a different dot, different location. And we all had to draw our what we saw. And it was so much fun, and I play it to this day. Let's see if I can find. I know I found a bunch of them, and I put them, I think, right over here. But I can show you some. Maybe you might get a kick out of them. I found them. I found them. So I don't know what the original line was in this particular result that I came up with. Chances are, it's hard to tell. I would play these, so someone maybe put this big dot and then put that line, and maybe, I'm guessing, this little C shape and maybe something up here. And I turned it into a billiard table with someone doing a fancy shot. So they shot the cue ball down here, and it bounced off of every possible bumper, hitting the 8 ball and into the pocket. This one, I do remember this one. This had a circle, a C shape, and 3 little V's. And I turned this one was mine. I turned this into the missile crisis at Cuba. So there's Cuba, and these are all of the boats surrounding Cuba, and then the stealth bombers. Wow. That's a lot of, damn it. That's a long resume. Someone made a big S and a line, and I turned this one into a chauffeur-driven limousine going to Niagara Falls for the honeymoon. So it says "just married" back there. You want to go to Cuba? I haven't looked at these in ever, and here, so I think I drew this one too. Boy, my mind just goes into weird places. There were lines drawn, I don't remember which, and I made it the nurse, Gwen, her name is Gwen, and she has her, she's cleaning out a gynecological table after a birth was given or something, birth happened. So she has her mop and her 409 and her bucket, and here are the feet in the stirrups. And there's Gwen. Only on the Canadian side. Good. The 2 lines turned into surfers surfing. Yes, Gwen the orderly. This one turned into a woman looking out of the window. These are funny. Oh, this one, someone turned, this isn't my drawing, but someone turned whatever the 3 lines were into avalanche. These are all the avalanches coming down from the mountain, crushing the man. Someone turned whatever this was into a Grecian. Well, there's Mercury going by with his winged helmet. And there's Venus de Milo. She has her arms before they fell off. Oh dear. Well, at least he was on the right side of that war. This one turned into a Picasso-esque fish wearing a hat, wearing a fedora. Not quite sure what that's supposed to be. Hello, hello. Someone catching a drop of water from the bucket. Oh, that was maybe Jack and Jill. No, I don't know what that was supposed to be. Oh, this was the mother threatening the child. I'm going to wash your mouth out with soap. Or the child being, oh, fish, Mighty Mouse. I have been doing fish for the longest time. Well, for the past, I don't know, half a year. And I'll show you what I did if you want to see, if you're interested. Here's a cat eating a mouse. Bless me. Oh, romance. Here we have a cow on the side, on the road, and there's a truck with a pickup truck with a dead deer on the top, and the cow, the nearsighted cow, is a little cross-eyed. Whoops, cross-eyed eyes. And so he's in love with the deer, the dead deer. Poor thing. Such sadness in the world. Thank you. Let me show you these fish. So I've been doing these projects where I will take I go to the recycling room in my building, and I find a box that inspires me, and I will cut it up and make fish. And fish are fun to make because if you make the weirdest looking fish in the world, there is an actual fish. I mean, if you make one up completely from your head, there's probably a fish that looks exactly like that. So this box, anyway, was a wine box. And I'm drawing it in perspective here. It had gray on the bottom. It had squiggly lines, an oval, squiggly line, squiggly line, squiggly line, squiggly line. And then it had Oyster Bay Sauvignon Blanc written on the sides. So it was light gray, medium gray lettering on a white box. So, and I had, in the course of doing this project, I ran across 4 different boxes, and every time I found another box, I made another couple dozen fish. So these used to be kind of in some sort of order, but I'm just taking them out. So this one, this fish, looks like that. This one here is a dead fish, so it's upside down, and the X is the eyeball. So it's floating on the water being picked at by the others. Sometimes the fishes were almost all white with just one little tiny bit of color. I think this is the one that has the least amount of color on it, the little dot. That was a dot from the .com, I think. Let me find one that is more colorful. This one has big buck teeth. This one has smaller, less bucky teeth. So anyway, I have hundreds of these things. And with this particular group of fish, I put them together in a, this one has a lot of makeup on, little eye makeup. And but let me show you if I can find where the book is. I'll show you some other fun I've had with these fish. So you have to wait 1 second while I try to get out of the hole I made. These are some other drawings I did of fish. I used paint swatch paper from an architect in my building who was got a new batch of Pittsburgh paint or whatever these California paint. Where do these come from? Benjamin Moore. So I just used the paper. These are all subtle shades of blue and pink and stuff. So these were really, really fun. And what was neat about this paper is the paper is very unabsorbent. The ink just sits on top of it. And it became really, really fun to, and it wasn't always consistent. Sometimes it would absorb and sometimes it would just repel. And it was like this one repelled a lot. So it was a fun project. And I put these in our gallery, and I had people, they could donate money to the gallery and take these for free because I don't have any expenses. So anyway, it was fun. Coding. I just got a note from my gallery director saying that I need to come back. I need to go down to the gallery and clean the gallery. So I'm going to go do that now. Look at me, I shaved. Do I look 20 years younger? I did do the drawing of the catfish. Well, I did do the one of Boston with the catfish in it. I don't think I did the one of the catfish. So I'll be back. Don't go away. I just have to Figured out how to get out of here. Come on, where's my thing?
See you later.